Part 44. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 431. Chapter 431. Then you can't blame him for being cruel. Jin Yuding's eyes flashed with a sharp look. He has always been cruel to everyone, whether it is others or himself. Lin Qinruo can never be that accident. But what Jin Yuding doesn't know now is that when he finds out that Lin Qinruo really became the accident a long time later, the only thing he can do is to let the accident continue to exist. Because, he had unknowingly fallen in love with the little girl Lin Qinruo. Gilo, gilo. In the middle of the night, Lin Qinruo's stomach suddenly growled. She rubbed her particularly hungry belly, and then sat up from the bed. She walked to the mirror and took a look at the dark circles under her eyes. Well, she didn't sleep well at night because she woke up hungry. She must be the first in the world. Really, I don't know what to say about myself. Qinruo, are you going to the kitchen to get something to eat? Lulu floated out of the space and appeared in front of Lin Qinruo as a soul. Lulu is also a little hungry, why don't we go eat something together? Lulu can show you the way. Lin Qinruo. Although this demonic palace sounds very cold and gloomy, since there is food, why not go get it and wait to starve to death? Go. Of course you have to go, you would be a fool not to. Lulu, are you sure that this is the road to the kitchen? Isn't this road too eerie? If it is, it would be too chilling. Lin Qinruo looked at the iron chain next to him that was stained with red rust-smelling items, and couldn't help but tremble. Who would set up a kitchen in a place like this? Jin Yuding? No way. Lin Qinruo trembled when he saw the unsmiling face. This, that. Lulu smiled sheepishly. Qinruo, I seem to have a little system confusion. Lin Qinruo, Lulu. Do you believe it or not? I ripped off your skin. No, we have to go back now, immediately, hurry up, hurry up. What if she gets into something here and she can't save herself, and is discovered by Jin Yuding? She will be completely out of control. Okay. Lin Qinruo made a quick decision and prepared to go back. However, she didn't expect that when she was about to leave, she bumped into Jin Yuding. What are you doing? This is a forbidden area. No one can come in. Jin Yuding looked at Lin Qinruo with cold eyes. What does this woman want to do? Does she really have other thoughts? Jin Yuding dug into his palms. Sure enough, he shouldn't trust anyone, especially Lin Qinruo, a person with such a mysterious background. Yes, I'm sorry. I was hungry and wanted to find the kitchen, but the housekeeper was sleeping. I didn't want to disturb him. I didn't expect to get lost while walking. Where is this place? Did I enter a place I shouldn't have entered? Sorry, I won't do it next time. Lin Qinruo's apology was truly outstanding, and she even admired herself. Jin Yuding looked at the girl, she didn't seem to be lying. Remember what you said, if someone unfamiliar with this place comes in, their lives will be in danger. This is not where she should come in. In fact, in his heart, he still doesn't want Lin Qinruo to die because of something in this place. He felt that she should not die like this. Lin Qinruo was stunned for a moment. He seemed to be caring about himself, right? Thank you, I can't, then. I'll take you to the kitchen, come with me. Jin Yuding pursed his lips and then said. Turn around and walk in one direction. Lin Qinruo was stunned and followed. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 432. Chapter 432. Her stomach is growling now, and she will do anything as long as she has something to eat. Jin Yuding took Lin Qinruo to the kitchen. Because it was already early in the morning, there was no one in the kitchen. Lin Qinruo took a look and found that there was not even any ready-made food. Jin Yuding looked at her confusion and explained, I haven't been here for a long time, so I haven't made food here for a long time. This kitchen is specially designed for him to cook, so. Lincoln was a little helpless, but fortunately there was still a little food in the refrigerator. Lincoln rolled up his sleeves and said, "I'll make some. Do you want to eat? Can you cook?" Jin Yuding didn't expect that this weak-looking little girl could actually cook. "I can. Do you want to eat it? Scrambled eggs with tomatoes, it's delicious." "Delicious," Jin Yuding frowned. He had never eaten this kind of thing before. Because it was too simple, the chef here didn't make it? "Don't worry, it's absolutely delicious." Lincoln patted his chest. Said. Jin Yuding smiled and said, "Okay, I'll wait for you to cook it for me." Lincoln frowned, feeling that this sentence was a bit strange, but after thinking about it, there seemed to be nothing wrong with it. "Yeah, okay." Jin Yuding smiled, then looked at her and said, "Go ahead, I'll help you." He happened to have just finished things, so he had time now. "Okay, I'll guide you." Lincoln actually likes cooking, because when cooking, you can concentrate on nothing. For people like them, cooking can completely forget themselves in reality. Sometimes, Lincoln actually doesn't like her current life. "It's just that I have no choice but to do it." "Crack the eggs for me." Lincoln gave Jin Yuding 3 eggs and said. Jin Yuding looked at the eggs and was silent for a few seconds. Then, pop, the eggs and eggshells all shattered together. Lincoln looked at Jin Yuding, who was stunned on the spot, and smiled. "You don't know how to cook." Never done it. They wouldn't let him cook." "I'll teach you." Lincoln took 2 more eggs, and then taught Jin Yuding step by step. At that moment, the fragrance of the girl's hair made Jin Yuding a little lingering. Lincoln smelled very good, but it wasn't a disgusting scent. It was a very good, indescribable scent. "Do you have any perfume on you?" "No, I don't wear perfume." Lincoln blinked. People like them are not allowed to wear perfume, because sometimes wearing perfume will expose themselves. "What's wrong? Do I smell something?" "It's nothing, I just think it smells good." Jin Yuding looked at her hands and said, "Are you the first to teach me how to beat eggs?" "Really, I'm honored." At this time, Lincoln discovered that Jin Yuding was actually not that difficult to approach. Sometimes, he is actually quite humane. If we say that he gave people the impression before, it may be that no one told Jin Yuding that he could do this, or that there were things he wanted to do, but many people felt that people of this status shouldn't do this kind of thing. But in this world, where can one decide whether to do or not to do it based on status? "You will like cooking," Lincoln said. "I will enjoy cooking with you." Jin Yuding looked at Lincoln, smiled silently, and then watched the girl cooking. Lincoln cooking is very good looking. Jin Yuding can't describe how good looking he is. Anyway, he is very good looking, very, very good looking. Very quickly, Lincoln made the rice. In fact, it was not very fast, and it took half an hour. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 433. Chapter 433. "Okay, try it." Lincoln served a bowl of rice to Jin Yuding, then smiled. "It's delicious." "Well, thank you." Jin Yuding took Lincoln rice and took a bite of the tomato scrambled eggs. "It's delicious." Jin Yuding's eyes lit up. To be honest, she didn't expect Lincoln to be so good at cooking. This tomato scrambled egg is really delicious. Although the chef prepares various dishes for him every day, to be honest, he has never cooked such home-cooked dishes. But sometimes, home-cooked dishes are the most heartwarming. In Lincoln dishes, he tasted the taste of home and said, "I'll make them for me too in the future." "Okay." Lincoln agreed. She felt there was no problem because she also liked cooking. This was not a pressure for her, but a way to relax. The two of them finished the food quickly, and then Jin Yuding sent the girl back to the room. He frowned when he saw that the room was all black. "Don't you like this color?" "Well, it's not that I don't like it, I just think it would be a bit depressing if the room was black." "But this is what you are pretending to be." "It's okay. Tell the housekeeper what you like and let him help you decorate it," Jin Yuding said. When he brought her over, he didn't think about this problem. "Is it really possible?" "Can." Jin Yuding smiled and said, "You are my wife." Jin Yuding, "Thank you." Lin Qinruo smiled. Jin Yuding looked at how late the time was, and then said, "I'll stay here and sleep all night." "It's too late today. There is a room next to it, so I will sleep next to it." "Oh, okay." Lin Qinruo was stunned for a moment, then nodded. This night, Lin Qinruo was sleeping in the room, and Jin Yuding was next door. They were facing each other, and the distance between them was a wall. Lin Qinruo's little hand touched the wall. The first time she knew about Jin Yuding was from someone else's mouth. At that time, he only knew that this person was an unkind person, a decisive person, and a person without any knowledge. Emotional person. However, after getting close to this man, Lin Qinruo discovered that Jin Yuding was not as cruel as people said. In fact, he was a human being just like her. The reason why he became like that was because of the environment. However, but he is a person who especially takes care of other people's moods. At least, when she stayed with Jin Yuding for so long, she did not feel uncomfortable, forced, or imprisoned. The freedom that Jin Yuding gave her was very great, even much greater than that of the emperor. In fact, Lin Qinruo knew in his heart that Jin Yuding was still a little suspicious of her, but under this suspicion, he did not absolutely done. He is a person who will never pass judgment on a person without absolute evidence. "It's just," Lin Qinruo pursed her lips, then looked at the wall and said, "Jin Yuding, if one day you know my identity, will you kill me?" Lin Qinruo sighed, then got into bed and fell asleep. What she didn't know was that Jin Yuding didn't sleep that day either, and he clearly heard what Lin Qinruo said. "Lin Qinruo, if your identity is the opposite of mine, then there is only one possibility for me now, and that is to completely turn you into mine. Because you have entered the Devil's Palace, and those who enter the Devil's Palace have no chance to leave. Either you become my person, or you die, but Lin Qinruo, I don't want you to die now, so you can only choose to become my person." End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 434. Chapter 434. Today is a very important competition. Many people have been waiting here early in the morning, because today is the time when the legendary Fire Phoenix comes to participate in the competition. Now, it has arrived at the finals. During the finals, all the esports personnel behind it, they will all show up, which means that they will finally see the real person of Huofeng. Well, what do you think the Fire Phoenix looks like? I'm really curious. I don't know, but I think no matter what he looks like, I will never lose my fandom. He is really awesome. It is really a blessing for the esports circle to have Huofeng. Beside him, a fan from another family heard someone say this and said in a strange tone, "TCH, he has such a big face. Isn't he just an esports player? He also makes it seem like him coming to play esports is a blessing to the esports circle." That's because you didn't see Huofeng playing esports. If you had seen it, you wouldn't have said that a fan of Huofeng fell asleep. They are too lazy to argue with others. The strength of the Fire Phoenix represents everything. The man snorted and said nothing, turning his head to one side. Soon I heard the host say that the contestants were entering. Feng Ling was a little behind the team, mixed in the crowd, very conspicuous, because she was one of the few girls, and she was so good looking, so it was difficult for anyone not to notice her. "Oh my God, that girl is so beautiful. Which team is she from, what's her name? Our esports circle has become famous. Not only has a great Huofeng been born, but also such a cute girl has been born. Oh my god. I want her information now. Let me see, my god, she looks really good, like a little princess. You do not say. Everyone was talking to each other and no longer cared about which team she was in. Fengling naturally knew that many people were talking about her. She has never appeared in everyone's field of vision. She appears now, not because of any so-called esports competition, but because, from now on, she wants to tell the world that she, Fengling, is worthy of Yeking Han. So, this first part starts from here. Fengling walked calmly, and everyone watched as she crossed the seats and walked towards Huofeng's seat, then pulled out the chair and sat down. In an instant, the scene was in an uproar. Oh my god, she is a fire phoenix. Is the fire phoenix a female? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Is the fire phoenix really a female? Oh my god, how can the fire phoenix be a female? So she didn't lie to us at all, she didn't use a fake voice at all, she used the original pronunciation. That's why her native pronunciation sounds so good. Is this the point? Shouldn't the point be that she is only 18 years old now, an 18-year-old esports master? My god, I feel so useless, help. Everyone looked at Fengling and were speechless. Fengling didn't bother to care what these people were thinking right now. Her focus was that after all this was over, she was going to university. This time may be one of her few esports competitions. Alas, Fengling sighed. In fact, it may be because God is fair. Therefore, after giving her such a smart brain, she also gave her a headache when she overuses her brain. Therefore, I don't use my brain much anymore. Esports competitions still require more or less mental use, so she has stopped playing if she can. This time, she played because she felt it was necessary to play. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 435. Chapter 435. Soon, the game started while everyone was stunned. Fengling sat in her seat, staring at the screen intently, and put on her headphones. The first game is a single-player match. After the single-player match, teams will be randomly formed to play. The postgraduate test will be the player's ability to adapt to changes. In the single-player match, Fengling chose the assassin. This is a role that no one really liked her. Therefore, everyone was a little surprised after Fengling chose the assassin. Because, as we all know, Huofeng is an auxiliary god, but no one knows that Huofeng's assassin is a killing on the playing field. Because of this, Fengling rarely plays. When playing assassins, there is only one kind. The situation is that Huofeng himself feels that this competition is boring and wants to end it quickly. So, when they saw Huofeng choose the assassin, everyone didn't quite understand, why did Huofeng choose the assassin? Are you stupid? In a single-player game? If she chooses support in a single-player game, will she continue to play? In annoying games, no one will choose to support, unless that person is out of his mind. But the assassin Huofeng shouldn't play much, is that okay? I'm a little worried. I have a little bit too, but I believe that since the Fire Phoenix God has chosen it, it will be okay. TCH, what can you do? Do you really think that you Fire Phoenix God is really a god? That's funny. The audience below is almost quarreling. This is how it is in the esports circle. They look down on each other and often quarrel. This has become a trend. Although it is not good, these men have no idea that in their eyes, they are the coolest. Fengling knew this and didn't bother to care about it. Anyway, she knew it when she was in the esports circle. Just because she knew it, she didn't bother to show up in front of others, because she didn't want to be judged by some stupid people. It started, look quickly. Soon, the game started, and everyone saw Huo Feng rushing directly into the encirclement at the beginning. Oh my god, she actually charged it right in. Are you crazy? The center of the encirclement is the most unsafe right now, and she actually entered it. As expected, I'm not very good at playing assassin. It's over. I think Huo Feng may have lost this game. I've already said it, how can a woman be so good at playing esports? Forget it, it's better to go home and have a baby. Ha ha ha. If you don't know how to speak, just shut up. Feng Ling said something through the microphone. In an instant, some people fell silent. They stared at Feng Ling in disbelief with their eyes wide open. I didn't expect that she would dare to confront them. Then I heard Feng Ling say, "Are esports competitions only for men? Can't girls play? In what era is there still such prejudice? Why don't I give you the mouse and see how many of you are there? What the can it look like? It doesn't matter if you're stupid, it's your fault if you still show your stupidity." After Feng Ling finished speaking, he killed several people with one knife. Everyone didn't even see clearly how Feng Ling was killed, but they felt that a large number of people died next to him, and the attack power was almost like killing him with one knife. Several dead players uttered a few foul words. How to play? How can this be fun? Isn't this just a slap in the face? Give you the mouse, they won't play with it anymore. Grass. Several people left angrily. Feng Ling curled her lips and continued to fight on the field. On this day, everyone said that Huo Feng was crazy. Because, she directly took the health bars of almost 2/3 of the people. This is simply unprecedented and unprecedented. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 436. Chapter 436. You're crazy to kill, Huo Feng is crazy to kill today. Oh my god, she's so awesome, help, she's my dad. Dad, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that to you before. I kowtow to you and apologize. The one here is not the elite among the elite, but in front of Huo Feng, he is still like a rookie in the novice zone. Huo Feng's strength has already exceeded the level that everyone can imagine. No one knows what Huo Feng's current level is. The only information everyone knows is that Huo Feng is awesome. The Fire Phoenix is amazing, the Fire Phoenix is so powerful. After this game, everyone will have a short rest. Feng Ling returned to his exclusive lounge to rest, and then he saw someone knocking on the door and coming in. Hello, you are the Fire Phoenix god, right? Yes. Feng Ling took a look and saw that the girl in front of her was a 16-year-old girl, still wearing a school uniform and looking like she had just walked around. What's the matter? Well, Fire Phoenix god, it's actually like this. I want to ask you to be my teacher and let you teach me how to play esports. I also want to become an esports master like you. You said, you want to be an esports master like me? Feng Ling found it interesting. The girl in front of her looked like she was a child from a poor family. If you are a child from a poor family, Feng Ling may still hesitate, because the road of esports is actually not easy to follow. Many people have been walking for a long time, but in the end they have achieved nothing and have to give up. This road involves too many families. However, the girl in front of me obviously does not have this problem. Her clothes are from the upper class. Why do you want to come to esports? Because I like it. I like the feeling of fighting with my teammates. There are no teams participating in the current esports competitions, but I believe that in future esports competitions, we will already form our own teams to compete. That's what I like. I want to form a team of my own and go to the top of esports to see the world. The girl said. Feng Ling nodded, dreams are good, but I want to tell you that many things cannot be done just by thinking about them. Do you know what I mean? I know, Master Huofeng, but I have this confidence. I have been playing esports for 6 years. Now I am definitely at the level of a professional player. If Master Huofeng doesn't mind, after the game, I can compete with Master Huofeng. I'll let you see my strength. You don't have to wait for the game to end, you can do it now. Fenling clicked on a computer opposite her. Get on the computer and let's get started. Now, the girl was stunned for a moment. She didn't seem to have thought that Huofeng would still have the energy to take care of her during the competition. Fenling nodded. The girl smiled, her eyes shining. Okay, believe me, I can definitely do it. What surprised Fenling was that this girl was actually very capable. Even now, if you go to play professional games, you are better than some people. However, maybe because of practicing alone for a long time, there are still some problems in many things, but they are all minor problems and she can definitely correct them. This girl has potential. Fenling's eyes lit up. What's your name? My name is Quan Shui. Quan Shui, it's a magical name. This surname is really rare. Fenling nodded. Okay, I promise you, just follow me to watch the esports competition. When I finish, I will hand everything over to you. My name is Fenling. Let's get to know each other again. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 437. Chapter 437. Quan Shui's eyes lit up. Really? Really, you really promised to teach me? Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm really lucky to have Huofengda. No, Master Fenling, you are my reborn parents. Quan Shui jumped up and down. Her family had always disagreed with her playing esports. They felt that this thing was only for children with poor grades. She had good grades and could obviously have a better future. Why did she have to take this path? But this is her dream. She came to this world once. If she couldn't realize her dream, wouldn't she have come in vain? Does your family agree with you playing esports? Fenling asked. Quan Shui was stunned for a moment, and finally said obediently, I don't agree, but there is nothing they can do if they don't agree. My playing esports will not affect my academic performance, so they can only watch me play esports. By the way, great God, do you have this kind of trouble? I really think, do adults think that playing esports is only for bad kids? However, there are many great players in esports who have very good results. Moreover, playing esports can bring glory to the country. What's wrong with that? It's because of prejudice. Once a person's prejudice is established, it is difficult to disappear within a period of time. You have not done anything wrong, but because they are your family, I think they should also love you, so you can't to do this is too extreme, and we can only boil the frog in warm water to let them slowly learn that this path is not only for bad children. This is an honorable career path. And you can do very well. I will, by the way, Fenlingda, will your parents stop your mother? My parents are already dead, so there is no chance for them to stop me. Fenling shrugged and said nonchalantly. Those two people. Fenling thought of the two faces and shook her head helplessly. Quan Shui, however, seemed to have done something wrong, lowering his head and saying, I'm sorry, Fenlingda, I thought. There's nothing to be sorry for, it's just a fact. Fenling listened indifferently. Looking at the time when the game was about to begin, Fenling glanced at Quan Shui and said, just go on the court with me and see how I play. Okay, Quan Shui nodded excitedly, and then on the playing field, everyone saw two girls, one was Fenling, and the other one, they didn't know who they were. This is a team game, but it is a random match, and you don't know which teammates you will be matched with. Fenling was matched with a pretty good team, but the original equipment in this team already included assassins. Everyone thought that Fenling would choose assassins, because the previous performance told everyone that Fen Ling was simply the best in the game when playing assassins. A big killer. Even the person who originally played the assassin felt that he would not be able to play the assassin this time, but unexpectedly, Fen Ling actually chose to support. "So you can play whatever you want, don't change because of me," Fen Ling said into the microphone. The assassin glanced at Fen Ling gratefully. Indeed, he was relatively familiar with assassins and could only play assassins. He was not very good at other games. Fen Ling's behavior obviously saved him from embarrassment to a certain extent. "Why don't you play assassin?" Quan Shui asked from the side. Fen Ling replied, "Because they have someone playing. If I play, that person will definitely change to something else. However, his other abilities may not guarantee that he will be as good as an assassin." End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 438. Chapter 438. They fight as a team. In the team, they need to ensure that everyone can play what they are best at. They are not Fen Ling, and they will not play other than what they are good at. Therefore, in order to play their most outstanding abilities, Fen Ling chose auxiliary. For Fen Ling, this choice may not be the best, but for this team, this choice is the best. Several other people were surprised that Fen Ling would choose to assist, and they looked at each other. Huo Feng actually chose to assist. "Oh my god, I didn't expect it at all. I thought she would choose an assassin after all, she is so good at being an assassin. I also think that maybe she wants Xiaoju to play an assassin. The Xiaoju they call is the assassin." Xiaoju touched his head and said, "Thank you, Huo Feng. It's nothing, I just chose what's best for our team." "Thank you anyway." Xiaoju smiled silly. Soon, the game started. To everyone's surprise, the silly Xiaoju took the lead and took the first blood. Then, the team seemed to be cheating. Victory was achieved within a minute. At the end of the game, the other person blinked and thought, "Well, what just happened? They have no idea what they are doing? You are so amazing, Sister Fen Ling, great Fen Ling, great Fen Ling, you are so amazing." Quan Shui hugged Fen Ling and spun him around twice. Fen Ling looked at her helplessly. Okay, let me come down. I am your teacher, why did you make me look like your goddess? You are my teacher, but you are also my goddess. Quan Shui said with a smile. By the way, there will be an international competition soon, Master, are you going to participate? Well, it depends on the situation, Fen Ling said, I'm wondering whether I want to participate. Actually, she knew very well that she probably wouldn't go back because her condition was getting worse recently. Let's go back. Fen Ling took Quan Shui's hand and left. Behind her, there was a carnival belonging to Huo Feng, but what did that have to do with her? The two words Fire Phoenix are just pronouns. When her time comes, she will no longer be remembered by anyone. People only live this life. Many years from now, how many of them will actually be recorded in the annals of history? So, just let nature take its course and live. Fen Ling put his hands in his pockets, then smiled, shook his head and left. Fen Ling is a fire phoenix. This news directly swept the entire Weibo. When Feng Shuang saw this hot search on Weibo, her first reaction was whether it had the same name and surname. However, after clicking in and seeing the face, Feng Shuang realized that it was not the case. Fen Ling was Huo Feng, Huo Feng. Feng is Fen Ling. It turns out that Fen Ling has been developing herself silently, and she. No, she is the most powerful, she must not let Fen Ling surpass him. Now, everyone thinks she is more powerful than Fen Ling. She finally asked her uncle to send her to the Department of Medicine at Beijing University. She must not be worse than Fen Ling. She must let her uncle see her value. Feng Shuang gritted his teeth and then read a book. School will start soon, and there will be a class test after the start of school. The test is their team's medical understanding. In this exam, she must surpass Fenling. She must tell her uncle that her value is greater than Fenling. Soon, it was time for school to start, and Fenling received a phone call in the morning. Is the president of Beijing University. Little ancestor, where are you? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 439. Chapter 439. Fenling blinked. Wu Ming asked her what she wanted to do at this time. Is something wrong? Fenling texted 2 words, and soon Wu Ming called. Little ancestor, you're awake. Listening to Wu Ming's attentive voice, Fenling knew that this guy had something to ask her for. Well, we will have an event for student representatives to speak, you see. I don't want to go, don't let me go. Fenling refused directly. She had to write the manuscript herself, which was too troublesome and she didn't want it. Little ancestor, we have prepared the manuscript for you. Just go up. This time, no one is more suitable than you. After all, Fenling got perfect marks in the exam. Yes, Yeling Long. Fenling directly reported the name. Yeling Long is in second place, 15 points lower than her, so it is more than enough to let Yeling Long go up. In order not to go, the little ancestor had already thought out all the options for them, which Wu Ming never expected. He could only nod his head in despair. Okay. Fenling thought about it for a while and then told him the reason. Wu Ming, I've been having some physical problems recently, so I can't be too tired, otherwise, I may fall into a coma again. After that incident, from then on, whenever she was too tired, she would fall into a coma. Once she was in coma, she would be in a coma for who knows how many years. Therefore, during the 2 years she went to who knows where, she was in the hospital, but that hospital was Fenling's own hospital, so no one knows where she is. Wu Ming, Ye Qinghan knows me now, so I can't be in a coma. If I'm in a coma, I won't be able to explain all this to him. The less people know about what happened back then, the better. If I fall into a coma, with Ye Qinghan's ability, I will definitely find out what happened back then. Do you understand? I understand. Okay, I understand. Let Ye Linglong go up. Wu Ming nodded, and then said worriedly, then little ancestor, you need to have a good rest, do you understand? Yeah, I know. Fenling nodded, then hung up the phone and took a deep breath. Ye Qinghan, I'm going to school, will you send me off? Let's go. Ye Qinghan smiled, then walked over to help Fenling carry her bag. Fenling hooked her lips, took his arm, and walked together. Before I knew it, I arrived at Peking University. There were so many students at Peking University today. Basically, they were all freshmen. Old students had almost come to school the day before. In order to welcome today's juniors and juniors, this is the tradition of Peking University. After Fenling and Ye Qinghan said goodbye, they came to the Department of Medicine at Peking University. Everyone knows that there is a super big shot in the Department of Medicine, who got perfect scores in all subjects in the college entrance examination. However, what everyone doesn't know is that this big shot in general medicine is so good looking, so. Name. Fenling. Fenling. At that moment, the eyes of the senior sister who greeted the new students dropped. This is the super boss. She looked up and realized that the super boss was so good looking, right? This is a person? Is it true that she is so good looking and has such good grades? Ah! It's so awesome. Hello, my name is Jinchuyan, nice to meet you. Hello, senior, where is my room? Oh, Your room is in 209, here is the key. Jin Shuiyan solemnly handed the key to Fen Ling, and then watched Fen Ling leave. When Fen Ling completely disappeared around the corner, there were bursts of screams around her. Oh my god, is this the super academic? I don't have this good looks or this figure anymore. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 440. Chapter 440. Oh my god, my god, my god, where did this female star come from? She looks so good without makeup, she would look so much better with light makeup. Why is this a fairy? Who are those women in the entertainment industry? We must refer to Fen Ling's standard, okay. Hey, she's actually from our department of medicine. I cried with all my heart, woo woo woo. Everyone said something to me. Feng Shuang came up behind Fen Ling, and no one cared about her. Only Jin Shuiyan gave Feng Shuang a key after seeing Feng Shuang. It was for 623. Not only was it the highest floor, it was also the innermost one. In other words, Feng Shuang's room was the worst room. Not only was it the highest floor, it was also the innermost one. There's still a lot of walking to do. Feng Shuang glanced at Fen Ling's room number, and her face turned dark instantly. However, because some things couldn't be too exposed yet, Feng Shuang left without saying anything. Fen Ling came to his dormitory. There were already two people there, one was Chen Pingping and the other was Ning Luoluo. They are all very good-looking girls, but in comparison with Fen Ling, they look particularly ordinary. In comparison, the two of them were helpless. Hello, my name is Chen Pingping. My name is Ning Luoluo. Nice to meet you. I know you. You are the top student with perfect scores in all subjects. I didn't expect you to come to our dormitory. Thank you. Hello, my name is Fen Ling. Fen Ling introduced herself politely, then pulled out a chair and sat down. She had very few salutes, so she finished them in a short time. Because Ning Luoluo is considered a young lady from a small wealthy family, everything she knows about Fen Ling is not cheap. Even bed sheets and quilt covers cost tens of thousands. The things she takes out casually rarely cost thousands of dollars, but only a few dollars. Thousands and hundreds of thousands. There are even millions. Ning Luoluo twitched her mouth. Damn it, she had never seen so much money in her life. Compared with Fen Ling, why would she rather be Luoluo? But Chen Pingping didn't understand. Because she was allergic and didn't know how to remove cosmetics, she didn't know the prices of the things on Fen Glungta. Fen Ling's bed sheets and quilt cover were made of very good material, but apart from being pretty, there was nothing special about them. Therefore, Chen Pingping didn't feel as intuitively as Ning Luoluo. On the contrary, Ning Luoluo, after seeing so many things about Fen Ling, was a little afraid that Fen Ling might not be easy to get along with. Fen Ling stopped talking after seeing the introduction between the two people. She happened to have something to do, so she took out her computer and started working. For a moment, the only sound in the entire dormitory was the sound of Fen Ling typing. Ning Luoluo took a look at Fen Ling's computer and found that it was all code. She couldn't understand what Fen Ling was doing, and she didn't dare to ask Fen Ling what she was doing. It seems to be a very advanced thing. It's 11 o'clock. Fen Ling finished her work and it was already 11 o'clock. The fourth person hadn't come yet. She looked at the clock and asked, "Are you going to eat?" "Let's go, will you come too?" Chen Pingping asked. Yeah, Fen Ling nodded. She happened to be hungry. Ning Luoluo. She felt that this lady might not be able to eat the food in the cafeteria. Facts have proved that not only Guang Fen Ling can't eat it, but Chen Pingping and Ning Luoluo can't eat it either. It's really different from the food at home. Fen Ling thought about it and found out that a magnificent restaurant opened nearby recently. The food there seems to be particularly good. Let's go to the Golden Palace. Ah! My treat is a gift for our first meeting. Fen Lingyun said calmly. Ning Luoluo. This gift must cost tens of thousands. End of this chapter.